got a big shot. Linden now. Potvin stopped it at Fondin. And from our net cam, you see the line, you see the glove, and that's it. Ellett take the shot. Here's the shot. Score! And the Toronto Maple Leafs lead 1-0.
This is the rush right before the goal. And it's offside.
Shot in by Monesso. Gartner stripped him, and he's going to get a penalty for it.
Marowelli is being totally unfair, calling one of those after the ones he didn't call.
When you grab the guy's head, and I know Pat's in there saying that's you're asking for it when you do that.
Earlier, Mike Gartner was hit and his stick went into the crowd. The fan runs down and gets it and then passes it over the boards, and the puck comes right to Gartner. The fan thinks he's going to get an assist on this goal.
If he does beat our defense, well, go Felix, go.
Look out, Bure is outside. Stop by Potvin.
You are now entering the second dimension. Strange beginning to the Western Conference Final 2 nights ago, a manic Monday. The Vancouver Canucks visit Toronto and all craziness breaks loose. And this evening we've already had a little that famous shot of Felix Potvin swiping the puck at the net. We don't have that camera now. It broke in the warm-up. More on that as we move along. Good evening. Welcome to Molson Hockey Night in Canada. Ron McLean with Harry Neal. Teams will be out here momentarily. In fact, here they are now. So let's have a peek at them, and then Harry will pick up some analysis. Title up for grabs. The Canucks trail the series 1-0, Harry. So what do they do to get back in it tonight?
Well, I think they play the way they did in the third period in the overtime in Game 1 when they thought their quickness improved. They got more chances. They outshot the Leafs. They just couldn't get the big goal. And I think the rust wore off, and they'll be a much better team tonight.
Funny thing is, the second line seemed to outplay the big lines in Game 1.
I think that could decide the series. Whose second, third, and fourth line forwards can score some goals, because the first line on each team are up to their waist in checkers. No room, no time, and getting knocked down.
Two of the reasons for that are the captains, Wendel Clark and Trevor Linden, always play physical. The Leafs won the other night without a goal from Clark. Trevor, of course, had the equalizer to make it 2-2. Here are their expectations for Game 2.
Well, I would like to try and get our legs going a little bit more, drive to net more, and drive into their end. I think we didn't get enough forecheck on the defense, and all in all, we just weren't skating and creating the opportunities we have to. So we want to try and put a little more pressure on our defense in hopes to create some more opportunities.
Well, I think we can put a little more intensity than we did. We just come off a 7-game series, so the first game was getting our feet wet and playing cautious and trying to find out what Vancouver is going to play like. So I think they're going to play a lot better because they made the 5-hour trip, and we're going to play better because we just come out of the other series and now we're getting our heads focused for this one.
The team winning Game 2 of a best-of-7 goes on to win the series over 60% of the time. Well, here it is, Game 2 from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Good evening, everybody. Bob Cole in the booth, and there, the Vancouver net is Kirk McLean. He has faced 30 or more shots in his last 8 consecutive games and has a very respectable 6-2 record. This now is his 39th straight playoff start for Vancouver. The other end, Felix Potvin, 31 saves in Game 1, including 6 in overtime. One of them off a clear break by Vancouver's superstar, Pavel Bure. There's Don Koharski, the referee. Kevin Collins and Dan Shakti again working the lines here in Game 2. Starting for Vancouver, in front of McLean will be Hedican and Brown. And up front, Ronning, Gilmour, and Monesso. For the Leafs, Gill and Ellett, Clark, Gilmour, and Gartner left to right. And Gilmour wins the faceoff. The Leafs dump the puck in. And Vancouver back. They promise to be quicker tonight. Harder hitting tonight. The Canucks would love to win this one and go back home even, where the next 3 are being played. The Canucks start back. Deep in his own zone is Jeff Brown, and he played it up on the left side through center. Ellett stopped it. Up to Gartner. That does not work. Gilmour takes the puck, and the first penalty is being called in the game. Momesso was checking Wendel Clark, and he's going to get 2 minutes for interference.
Well, you knew with all the talk between the two coaches, especially about how rough it was and how rough it's going to be here in Game 2 after Game 1, that the referee, in this case Koharski, would come out. He's going to set the stage. He's going to give you the parameters in which you can work in the first 10 minutes. And neither coach may like a couple of the penalties that they'll see their team get until the players are fully aware of what Koharski's going to let go and what he's going to call. And Momesso grabs Clark from behind. Didn't take a scoring chance away. Not a penalty you'd usually see late in a playoff game. Don't forget, Koharski was the backup official and watched Game 1.
36 seconds into the first period. The first power play of this game. And it belongs to the Maple Leafs, and the Canucks are going to send the Leafs back. They thought they would. It hit the linesman at the far side and didn't get back too far. It's back there now, though, as Mironov backed up all the way. Now he starts out. Mironov straight to the blue line. He wants to stick handle himself. Gets away from McIntyre and rolled it in. And the Canucks break it up. Babbage shot it down the ice. Did it because the other defenseman for Vancouver, McIntyre, is going off, and Courtnall is on in his place. Trevor Linden, the other penalty killer up front, as Ellett brings the puck in. Ellett is stopped. It is Gilmour trying to keep it in, but Courtnall is on it for Vancouver, and he goes down on the rush. Courtnall with Linden in front of the net. A big save by Potvin on Linden, and here's it 3-on-1. Andreychuk, Borschevsky, and Andreychuk couldn't get the pass. It was offside back at the blue line anyway, as Andreychuk skated in and Borschevsky was just ahead of him.
Boy, going offside on a 3-on-1, trying to get that first goal. Both teams have been so good when they score first in the playoffs. Potvin, a nice stop with his left foot. I don't know whether the puck would have gone wide or not. Maybe from this angle we'll see it, but it's hard to beat Potvin down low on any kind of a bad angle. And the Leafs roar out with a 3-on-1 and go offside on the rush.
1 minute and 4 seconds left in the Momesso penalty. No score. We're just underway. This is Lumet back of the net for Vancouver, and he's allowed to skate away. Made a good move at the blue line. He's up over the Leaf line now. Lumet's shot off the arm of Potvin. Doesn't know where it is. It nearly came down in front of the net, but Macoun swept it away, and the play stopped.
Well, the Vancouver Canucks have had two great chances here early in this game. The one by Courtnall and this one by Lumet. And the Canucks are short-handed here, and they get the defenseman in the rush, and Lumet shoots it between the legs of the Toronto defenseman, and Felix Potvin made a difficult stop on a good high short side shot.
The only 2 shots of the game so far. Vancouver short-handed, and 49 seconds left in their penalty. Here's Gill. He and Ellett are the Leaf defensemen. Gartner, Gilmour, and Clark up front on this power play for Toronto, and Gill brings it in. Again, they go offside at the Vancouver line. Gill made the pass across, but he himself went in.
Well, Mike Gartner, he has really, in the last half of the first 2 rounds, shown what the Leafs saw a bit of when they acquired him at the deadline. Good speed, very good shot, and Bob, he's joined right in here to be as feisty as I've seen him play it from a physical angle.
39 seconds remaining in the Vancouver penalty. No score, first period, Leafs power play. It's the first power play of the game, and The Canucks doing a good job killing this penalty off. And they lift another one down the ice. Clark and Hunter were bumping together, and now they're talking and bumping some more. The referee Koharski issuing a warning. Gill is coming in with the puck, and Clark without the helmet can't pick it up. 15 seconds left in the penalty to Momesso. Ellett shot. McLean makes his first stop. In back of the net, it's Gartner and Clark, and it's Gartner getting it back to the blue line where Gill is waiting. Takes the shot, a low one, grabbed by McLean. Came up to him, and he held on to it. No further play, and the Canucks have killed off the penalty. And you can see that Clark and now Glynn are having a few words.
Well, this has started out to be a little bit of a bitter affair again. Hunter and Clark collided. Koharski went over and warned both of them to lay off, or he was going to give them a penalty. They listened to him, and neither one go to the box. Tim Hunter, a cagey veteran, who I remember 1989 was such an instrumental factor, along with Lanny McDonald and Jim Poplinski, in supplying that leadership that was so necessary when the Flames won the Stanley Cup. And I think he's giving his Vancouver Canuck teammates a little dose of the same leadership.
2 minutes, 38 seconds into the first period. This was Hunter and Clark. They bumped. Clark lost the helmet. Few words here and a shoulder-to-shoulder treatment. And you see the referee telling them to get with it or they'd go. And they have paid attention for now. Manderville passing the puck back. Lefebvre put it in back of the net. And it's the Vancouver Canucks clearing it up to center ice. Down the wing, Craven misses it. Manderville was given a bump. And Brown back of the net with it. Hedican on the other side. Hedican coming out. Brown, his defense partner, tried to go rink wide, lifted the puck high on that pass. And it went right over the...
Proved that in overtime when he snuck behind the Leaf defense. You better know where he is if you play against him all the time. One of the things he really does well is when you change on the fly and he doesn't, he's looking for a big opening, and his defensemen know that.
From the face-off, it is Bure with the puck, and he played it to the left wing. Hedican was upended trying to carry it in. The Leafs do not clear it cleanly, and it goes in back of the goal. Ojic is in there, bumping with Lefebvre. Macoun hit him with the puck. Lefebvre trying to knock it loose. Bure back of the goal. Got one hand on the stick, but picked it up anyway. Here's Bure's shot, and that's blocked in front of puck man. The Leafs come out. It is Berg up to Manderville. Rebound is cleared off the boards and out to center ice. Here's Craven. He's alone on this rush, waiting for somebody to catch up. Now he shoots it in and goes on. Puck goes on the boards and back to the Vancouver line. Babbage to Linden. Linden moving up. Vancouver with a good start. They shoot it in back of the net. Rouse was in and enough time to get it to the line, but not out Babbage's shot. And that's blocked. Back of the net, Adams trying to push one out front of the goal. Hit the back of the net with it, and the Leafs hang on by shooting it to center ice. Lafayette coming in. Adams is now back onside. Potvin stepping out of the net. No score nearing the 5-minute mark of the first period. Long pass to Zezel at center. Up over the line, and they lose it, and Linden turns, takes a look. Sees Lafayette going in. Now he has to wait. Didn't wait long enough. Lafayette couldn't get back out, and that's called on the offside at the Leaf blue line. Toronto nothing, Vancouver nothing. Second game of the best of 7. Western final. And we are approaching the 5-minute mark of the first period. Ellett gave it to Gartner. He's pushed off the puck, and it's shot back to the net. Brian Glynn checked him effectively, and now slides all the way down the ice, and icing has been waved off. Blue May back in a hurry. Gartner chasing him. The pass goes to straight center, and Ellett backs up. Gives it to Gill. Up to Gilmour. Gilmour being watched by Ronning. Got it through the middle to Clark, and Clark is stopped by Lumay. Gilmour got the puck and rolled it back to Gill again. To Gilmour. Picking his way to center. Gill catching up and moving in. Gill gets in the slot area. Couldn't get a shot, and Ronning made a fine play to take it from him. Ronning's pass through the middle. And the Canucks, Mamesso, shot it in on the left side. Lume, who was up on the play, couldn't get a shot. Gilmour again, striding away to center. To the line with Clark. Clark played it back to Gilmour. To Clark, and his shot deflected high onto the glass. Brown for Vancouver. He's stopped. Clark ran into his man on the boards. Mamesso put him back a foot or two. The Canucks back of the net is Hedican. Gartner took it away from him. He got it back again. Hedican has to skate away from Gartner. Zezel was forechecking. Here's Berg running into Brown and knocking him to the ice. Brown gets up and starts the Canucks away. No score, first period. 6.5 minutes gone. Play to the line, and here's Brown winding up, shooting. Potvin stopped that. Osborne saw Zezel up at center. Zezel had to stop. Laid it back now inside his own blue line. Lefebvre had to get rid of it. He was being checked quickly by Courtnall and Bure. Now Linden. Trevor Linden shot it in off the Leafs stick. And Lefebvre went back to pick it up. It is cleared down the ice. Babbage will come back. And this will be icing called against her. Bill Berg delivering a big hit when the Vancouver defenseman arrived here. That was Jeff Brown taking that hit. He didn't see Berg come in. Here's Dmitri getting a shot. That was screened and just missed on the short side. Hunter's on the ice and back with the puck. Giving it to Dmitri. Dmitri shoots a long one into the corner. And Canucks, Ojek moving up on it. Cleared on the boards to Baumgartner, and he can't get it out. But Krushelnyski carries to center ice. Down the wing with a little bit of room with a shot. That'll go into the crowd. As Krushelnyski came in across the line and got the slap shot away, but it was the...
And stop that quickly. You've been hit, and Bure right with the shoulder and the chest.
What a solid skater, and he demonstrated how solid he is by hitting the bigger Jamie Macoun and flattening him. Face off inside the Vancouver line. Gill gets set from the blue line. The shot. McLean the save. Got the blocker up there, and we've got more penalties coming, I think. Ojek over there with Rouse. And they were doing, or was it Gill? They were doing some pushing and shoving, and they're going. Minor roughing penalties. Gill of Toronto, Ojek of Vancouver.
You'll see it just outside the blue line after Gill took the shot. Ojek punches him, and Gill comes back with a cross-check across the shoulder of Ojek. Don Koharski, the referee, gets rid of both of them for 2 minutes.
We have no score in this first period. Shots are 4-3 in favor of the Leafs. But Vancouver had the better scoring chances of those 7 shots. Linden was in close. Canucks come out. Pass to Linden. And he's up over the Leaf line. Linden trying to barge in there. He was checked before he could get near the puck by Ellett. It is kicked loose on the boards. Linden takes it again. Leaves it for Lume. He's in deep. Lume, another penalty coming up. I think it's going to be against Rouse of Toronto. Vancouver with the puck, so McLean gets to the bench. They have the extra man on now. And they play it back and press in there. Bure's shot stopped. Rouse reaching forward. Rolled along the boards to the line and kept in. Courtnall fanned on it. And Ellett gets possession, and the play is called by Don Koharski. And the Leafs, Bob Rouse, goes off for 2 minutes, and Vancouver will get a taste of their first power play tonight.
You have to wonder that the Vancouver Canucks may not have realized the delayed penalty was on. They really should have given the Leafs the puck right away, because they burned up part of the 4-on-3 time advantage they were going to have. Rouse in the corner there, as you can see, has got him pinned the hold on the boards was longer than the 2 minutes Rouse is going to get.
There's Bob Rouse in the penalty box for Toronto. This comes at 8:12 of this opening period. Gill and Ellett already in there for another 1:17. So a great opportunity for the Canucks to strike first in this game. 4 skaters against 3. And they are Courtnall, Linden, Bure, and Brown. And that's not a bad quartet. It'll be Zezel for Toronto. Macoun and Lefebvre are the defensemen. Vancouver trying to win the draw from Zezel. They managed to take it up the blue line, and here's Linden waiting for somebody to open up. Comes back to Linden. Here's Brown, shoots, puck by the save, and Zezel shot it down the ice. 1 minute left in the first 2 penalties. 1:40 in the Rouse penalty. No score first period. Here comes the Russian rocket. He's across the line and stopping in there, playing it off to one side. Gets to the slot himself now. And Brown goes to Linden, shoots. Rebound, Bure shoots. That's stopped. And the Leafs get it out and down the ice again. Vancouver coming close. 30 seconds left in the first 2 minors. 1:10 and the penalty to Rouse. Bure moving up over center and had to go back against Manderville, and Manderville poked it away from him. Bure takes it again. Here he comes. Got away from Manderville this time and brings it up over the line and winds up. He won't shoot from that angle, I do not believe. He'll hang on to it. Now he moves it to Linden. Linden backed up and gave it to Brown into Bure. There's the drive and stopped by Potvin. Bure putting the shots right on. The first minor penalties have been served. They're on the ice. And the Leafs trying to stave off the Canucks on this power play now. Shoot it away. 30 seconds left in the Rouse penalty. No score. Vancouver moving out. Ronning. He's up over the Leaf line. It is played onto the boards and cleared back out. 18 seconds left in the penalty to Rouse. Here's Ronning again. Forced back by Gilmour. Takes the second pass. Gives the second pass. And it comes to him again. Ronning moves up over the line. He is going for the net. Ronning backed it up. And the Leafs clear it on the boards. Not out. The penalty to Rouse is over. He's on the ice. Toronto at full strength. And is Ronning back at the net, dumping it there. It is centered through the crease. Potvin diving. Knocked one away, and Gill is trying to move it up there with Gilmour. He can't do it. Good checking by Gilmour. 9:30 remaining in the opening period. They're at full strength now. There is no score. Puck is shot in. Potvin coming to play it. And he holds it with Gilmour coming in. And Ellett watching him.
The Vancouver Canucks had 4 shots on the power play. Here's the most dangerous one by Bure from a bit of a bad angle, but it was a one-timer, and you saw Potvin was able to get over as far as he could to make sure Bure had to have a perfect shot to beat him.
9 minutes and 17 seconds remaining in the first period. Scoreless here in game 2. Vancouver has had 8 shots. Toronto 4. Gill. Tim Hunter goes in to watch him. Gill got rid of the puck in a hurry. Played up by Ellett to center to Eastwood, and he fired one in over the line, but broken up by Babbage. Gill shoots it back in where Babbage stops it. He saw Hunter open. Hunter played it in from center ice, and here's Gill again. Shooting it on the boards. It does not get out, but Ellett is going to carry. He gets up to center and lifts one in wide of the net. Here's right in front of the goal, and Eastwood was turned around in time. Couldn't get a stick down. Hunter's shot. That misses by 3 feet. Krushelnyski to center. Eastwood was cruising there, but it hit the back of his leg. And Linden brings it in. Takes a shot. He missed on the short side. Out across the line where Bure will turn. Andreychuk watching him. Brown to Bure. Bure up on Andreychuk, and he moved away from him easily and across the line. Threw a pass in. Pettican is bumped. Ellett centers it. The Leafs shoot it down the ice. This will be an icing call. 8 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the first.
He used to be in Winnipeg, but very conscientious defensively.
And from the faceoff, Zezel trying to catch up as he played it into the corner, and Osborne carries up. Now he drops to Zezel. In with a shot. Right on, and McLean made a fine stop on that drive by Zezel. Back in for Bure again. Bure had trouble controlling it, and Berg hit him. Bure again, and Berg all over him. The Canucks bring it in. Trevor Linden left it for Ojek in front of the net, and a weak backhander by Glenn was wide. A scramble for it in front of the net. The Leafs come up with it. Out to center is Lefebvre. Long shot, gloved by McLean. He leaves it for Brown. Jeff Brown ahead to the line. Clark just missed Jelena. Ronning is moving in with Jelena. Shoots right on again. And Potvin was in the right position to stop that shot. So they're getting chances, but still no score.
Well, there's no doubt about the fact that the Canucks are moving a lot better tonight than they did in the start of Game 1. And I mentioned that to Ron McLean in the opening. I don't care what you say. When you take 6 days off, you can't just pick up where you were. Bure has been as feisty as I've seen him tonight. And he's got number 10 in white in his hip pocket. Wendel Clark, who was rather silent physically, I thought, in Game 1, seems to be a little more motivated in that department tonight.
Here's his shot right on, and Potvin stopped that one. Gartner can't move the puck out. Jelena goes around the net. Jelena trying to come out. He lost control. And Gilmour flipped it down the ice. Icing waved off this time. McLean is away out of the net to play it. McLean shot it high. It was knocked down. He got back in time to stop the pass out with Gartner trying to bank it off him. McLean leaving the net and then hitting the Leaf player. Gartner is offside. He'll have to come back on. And he did not get out. And the play is stopped. The Leafs offside the Vancouver line. 11-6 of the shots in favor of Vancouver. Lafayette is number 25. Eastwood for Toronto, number 32. And Kevin Collins might give them one more shot. Maybe he won't. Eastwood is out. Andreychuk comes in. Lafayette stays on. Andreychuk won the draw. Borschevsky can't clear it out of the zone. Borschevsky gets a second chance. And again, he failed to move it out. The Canucks, 3 of them along the boards, come up with it. Craven got as far as Ellett, who took the puck. Here comes Babbage. Cleared to the line. Lafayette stopped it. Threw it in back of the net. Courtnall racing forward, and he gets it. Borschevsky rubbed him a bit. Craven goes back of the net. It is centered. Here comes Dmitri with a shot. Sharp angle. It went to the far corner. And it's Andreychuk. Borschevsky is up there to escape. But Eastwood is on it, and he brings it in. Eastwood going to the corner with it. Around Dmitri, back of the net. Trying to center it. McLean stopped the pass out. It is picked loose by Borschevsky. Eastwood trying to move it back out in front of the net. He's pinned by Dmitri. Gets loose though. And then lost it, and the Canucks bring it out. Craven going to center, facing Ellett, dropped it in. Here's the centering pass, and it's cleared away by Potvin. Back up the ice for Andreychuk. Over the Vancouver line, and lost it as he tried to drop it back. And Zezel stopped it in the center ice area. Zezel stepping in over the line, but Andreychuk was in ahead of him, and the play goes offside.
Up with the Vancouver pinching defenseman.
Just over 5 minutes remaining in the first. Scoreless first period. Linden against Zezel. Zezel winning the draw, and the Leafs shooting it across the line. Brown with lots of time to move it to Hedican. Hedican hit Linden with that perfect pass. Linden coming in. The pass didn't work. It was intercepted by Macoun. And the Leafs get it up to center ice again. Osborne knocked it off the boards and pulled away from Hedican. Brown comes around the net for Vancouver, leaving it for Bure. He wants to get some skating room, so he delivers the pass. Waits for Hedican to move around the net again. Hedican will come out looking for Bure. Goes in behind him to Linden. His right wing pass in for Adams. He'll catch up to it against Macoun. Here comes Brown, the defenseman, looking for Linden right in front of the net. He just missed it. Bure left it. Adams' shot kicked away by Potvin. Bure speeding it around the net. Bure dumped it out front. A good tricky move, but no shot. Here's one. Potvin blocked that. Bure looking for it. And the Leafs again hang on and clear it down the ice. Bure had everybody buzzing as he came around the net like a bullet, tossed the puck up, flipped it in front of him. Amazing.
Not sure I've seen anybody do that in a game. We've seen him do it in practice from time to time. But Pavel Bure, when he's circling from behind the net, in order to get the puck out in front where he's going to try and catch up to it, and in a scoring area, watch what he does. He flips it up in the air to get it by all the sticks, and then runs around to the other side of the circle and tries the backhand slapper. And that is the only part of that play that didn't work.
The only thing preventing that play from getting to the highlight reel for a month or more is that he couldn't score. Fanned on the backhander. But what a play by Bure. 4:12 left in the period.
The big thing about a play like that, Bob, is who has the guts to try it? I mean, it's not a normal hockey play. And only if it's worked before would you dare try it at this time of the playoffs.
He's something. 14-6, the shots in favor of the Canucks. And the Canucks have certainly carried the play to the Maple Leafs in the early going of this hockey game. They have 4 minutes left in the first period. Canucks on it again. Ronning is turning back at his own blue line. Right wing pass in behind Jelena. He had to stop to pick it up. And Gill watching his man come in. He and Momesso go to the boards together. Jelena takes it, comes up front. He nearly tucked it in on the short side. Gilmour can't clear it by Ronning. Gilmour again stepped away from Ronning. And the pass to Gill. Gill and Clark go up over the line. Gill along the boards to the corner with Clark right behind him. And Lume takes it, but Gartner is upended. And there will be a penalty on the play. Momesso, I believe, is the player who will get the slashing penalty. And he's going off. Momesso in the penalty box for slashing. And Toronto gets his second power play of the first period. Mironov can't stop that one as it was cleared cleanly by Babbage. 3:20 left in the period. No score. Game 2. And the Leafs move out. It is Gilmour coming through center. Getting up to the Vancouver line, but the 4 Canucks were lined up across the line. They took it away from him.
Well, when these two guys, McIntyre and Hunter, kill penalties, they get in sync with the defenseman and they just give him the forecheck. They don't put any pressure on in the Leaf zone, wait for him in the neutral zone, dare the Leaf stick handlers to try and get by them, and or force them to shoot it in, and it's working very well on this penalty.
1:15 left in the penalty. And here's Andreychuk coming to center against Linden. Can't get by him. Cardinal coming back up for Vancouver. Linden going for the net, but it's broken up and the Leafs clear it out. Mironov ahead to Clark. Clark with Gilmour trying to get loose from Linden. He got in front of the net. The shot from the far side is over the glass into the crowd, but it was deflected by a Vancouver player, I believe, in the face-off. Therefore, will be inside the line.
Well, here's a shot of our old friends, Tommy and Nicky. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman here to make a film. They're big hockey fans, and behind them, Dan Aykroyd, who frequents Maple Leaf Gardens when he gets a chance to come to Toronto. So when you get to the playoffs at this time of the year, everybody wants a ticket.
2:23 remaining in the first period. 53 seconds left on the power play for Toronto as Momesso is in the penalty box for slashing. Vancouver has had 14 shots. The Leafs only 6.
And they're out-chancing the Leafs on good scoring chances, 7-2.
Linden against Gilmour, the latter winning the draw, and it's Gill giving it to Ellett. Ellett shot, screen, stop. The Canucks will clear it. Linden left it at the line for Cardinal. He wasted a few seconds before getting it inside the Leaf line. Gilmour trying to move it out. Now it's Gill. to center ice, and he decides to shoot it in. It hit the Vancouver player, Glynn, and it's shot down the ice again by Linden. 25 seconds left in the penalty to Momesso. 1:50 in the period. Ellett takes a long shot. Comes off the boards and back near the line and out. So the Canucks are killing off the Leafs' second power play. Gilmour couldn't get in. He was bumped by Hedican. 5 seconds left in the penalty. Gartner shot. Nice save by McLean as he covered on the short side to stop that Gartner drive. The penalty over. The Canucks have killed it off, and Craven rolled it in over the line. Here's Bure coming for the net. Great move. Scores. Pavel Bure. And you saw it all there, folks, with a heck of a move on the defenseman, and then a better move on Potvin.
Well, the Vancouver Canucks have controlled the boards in the Toronto zone all night. And this is another giveaway up the boards right here. Bure picks it off. The defenseman's in awful trouble having to go to him. And then he makes a little move on Potvin to freeze him and then puts it up over his hand to make it 1-0 Canucks. This guy's hands are quicker than the eye. There's one defenseman, Ellett, gone. And there's the goal. He couldn't have put it any better in the corner if he'd have put it there with his fingers.
Grazing the crossbar and probably grazing the post. A pure shot from Bure. His 10th of the playoffs. 1-0 Vancouver. 18:43 the time of the goal, and the Leafs drive one in there. It is cleared by Adams with 1 minute left in the period.
Last minute of play in this period.
Krushelnyski dropped it back to the blue line. Lefebvre will take it. Coming up from Rouse. Banked it off the boards, and Baumgartner tried to go in but was stopped, and the Canucks get it out again. 45 seconds left in the period. They bring it in over the line. Lafayette going after it, and Rouse pinned him in the corner. Krushelnyski trying to stop Hunter. It's loose back of the net. Lafayette tried to come out. He was stopped with 30 seconds left in the period. Lume knocked it down at the blue line. Adams comes in to give help. Krushelnyski covered him though. Tied him up. Lafayette comes out in front and was hit by Lefebvre. Now Lafayette again, waiting to make a move. Out front he comes with a pass, and Potvin blocked it. And Lefebvre and Lafayette were shoving each other. I think maybe a penalty has been called with 13.2 seconds remaining in this, the first period. And it's going to be Lefebvre who's coming to the penalty box for Toronto. The Canucks are leading 1-0 on the Bure goal at 18:43.
And here's the penalty coming up. You're going to see Lefebvre take a run right here at McIntyre and then punches him right there. And I think that's what he got the penalty for. Not much time for the Canucks to do a lot in the power play. 13.2 seconds left here in the first period. And the Toronto Maple Leafs are a little fortunate, and I think Pat Burns realizes it better than anyone, to only be down by 1. The Leafs have had trouble controlling the Canuck people in their own zone. They've given it away like that about 7 or 8 times, trying to come up the boards with it. It's cost them 1 goal, and it's going to cost them more if they don't clear up that problem.
Lefebvre for roughing at 19:46. And the Canucks leading 1-0 go on the power play here. They are 0 for 1 in that department in this first period. Linden gets it to Bure. Bure will stall for time, took a shot. 5 seconds remaining in the period, and as Zezel cleared it down the ice, he and Linden butt together briefly, and the linesmen make sure nothing develops there, and they get in between them quickly. So the horn goes to end the first period in Vancouver. Full value for their lead, out shooting the Leafs 15-7. Coming up in our first intermission, Don Cherry is standing by in the coach's corner. Pavel Bure scores the goal for the Canucks at 18:43. After 1 period, Canucks 1, Leafs nothing. Assist at 18:43. Period number 1, and here's the second period. Lefebvre and the Toronto Maple Leafs in the penalty box. Vancouver with the man advantage, shoot it in. It came off the glass right out in front of the net. And the Leafs were alert to pick it up and shoot it down the ice. Minute and a half left in Lefebvre's penalty. Canucks come up. Lume ahead to Linden. Linden, Cardinal, and Bure on the move, but they'll have to come back again. 1:15 left in the penalty. Zezel forechecking. Canucks move out. Jeff Brown to center ice, winding up from there. The shot up on the glass to the right of Potvin. Canucks in to pick it up. Lume at the blue line. Going to Brown again. Back to Lume. Lume winding up. He gets a shot, and it's knocked down. Potvin stopped for a shot. He tapped at it, knocked it right into the goaltender. It is Linden again on the boards. Going for the net, looking back to the line. There's the pass. Lume to Brown. To Lume. Into Linden. And again to Lume. Brown on the other side with a shot deflected wide of the Leaf goal. Bure has it. Bure skates away from the checkers. Macoun and Zezel into Cardinal. It is centered. And Linden was tied up in front of the net. Again, Cardinal upended. 15 seconds left in the Leaf penalty. Macoun trying to clear it out. It got to the line and hammered back of the net. Cardinal centered it. Bure not much on the shot. And falling on it was Bill Berg. Bure coming in was open and couldn't get all of it.
Well, the Leafs had one good chance to ice it and couldn't get it past Jyrki Lume. A nice little pass from Cardinal to Bure, and Bure can't get much on the shot, and it is smothered by Bill Berg to get a whistle with 4 seconds left in Lefebvre's penalty. The Canucks had two great chances here, one on the point shot, and then Bure hits the puck out of the air. But again, doesn't get a lot of it, and Potvin's able to grab it. Pavel Bure is here tonight. We didn't see much of him till the overtime in game one, but we've seen plenty of him here in the first period and early in the second.
The Leafs get the puck to the line where it's snuck down. Now the penalty is over. Ellett is upended, trying to clear it. 3 Canucks were there. They pass it into the corner. Gill went back there, not Jelena flying. Gartner lost a chance to clear it, and Potvin had to hang on to it as he scooped it up and held it.
As I mentioned near the end of the first period, the Leafs have had an awful time getting the puck out of the zone after they get a hold of it. It's been kept in by an alert Vancouver defense corps that have kept the scrambles alive, and they got the only goal on a play. Todd Gill, 13 stitches in the lip, as you can see, in game one.
Leafs control the puck on the face-off. 2 minutes gone in the second period. 1-0 Vancouver. The teams are at full strength now. And Babbage trying to make a play and lost it to Gartner. Dropped it back. Clark shot. Stopped by McLean. Clark with a hard wrist shot, and McLean making the save. Back of the net, Gilmour. Gilmour hangs on to it. Now out front he comes. Here's Gartner, and he can't get a shot, and 3 Canucks speed away. The fourth running, catching up. Jelena bumped by Ellett, and Ellett got it away from Babbage, the defenseman who was in on the rush. There's Momesso trying to center it. Gill has him tied up. Gartner comes back and falls. Here's Jelena trying to play it in front, and Ellett made a good play to knock it away from in front of the net. The Leafs shoot it down the ice. McLean coming out a bit, stopping it. Played up to Momesso, left for Running. Running shoots it in, and Mironov coming back against Craven. Gill takes the puck around the net. Penalty coming up against Vancouver. And Potvin doesn't get a chance to leave the net. Clark and Running bumping together. The Canucks get a penalty here, and the Leafs will go on a power play when we come back. Running off. Cliff Ronning is in the penalty box for slashing here at 3:04 of the second period.
Well, Cliff doesn't pick and choose his opponents to slash. It's Wendel Clark that gets the stomach from little Ronning. Remember now, Koharski likes to get the retaliator. Dave Ellett makes a nice play on Martin Jelena on a 3-on-2 rush.
Vancouver 1, Toronto no score. And the Leafs on a power play, Andreychuk. With Eastwood going behind the net, but Lume has the puck. And he shot it off the glove of Mironov to center. Mironov left it for Borschevsky. He left it for Andreychuk. They circle to come in. Andreychuk shot is blocked. Rebound. Cleared to the side of the net. Mironov stopped it near the blue line. Gave it to Dave Ellett. Back to Mironov. To Ellett. Ellett again. Passes off to Borschevsky. Coming up there for a shot. Borschevsky right in. Centered it. Hit the side of the net. Now he goes back to Ellett. Ellett on the outside for Mironov. Back into Borschevsky. Shot right in front of the net. Andreychuk. They bang away at it. McLean down. Loose puck, and the Canucks are going to clear it out. Gilmour lifted one high and got it down the ice. The Leafs coming close. A minute left in the penalty, and Ellett is coming in there. He was stopped. Again in the center ice area. Gilmour coming in with Andreychuk up the line. Andreychuk shot in off the boards for Mironov. Mironov waiting with Ellett, getting a shot there. Nice save by McLean on that shot. The Leafs are on it. Back of the net. Clark takes a hit. Gilmour in the corner. Out front shot. And here's Mironov again to Ellett. Ellett passes to Gilmour at the side of the net. They're all over the net. Nobody can jam it in. Here's Ellett. Mironov scores! Mironov finally pulling the trigger for Toronto. And what a power play that was to tie the game.
Well, the Leafs certainly had possession for a long time, and they had 3 or 4 good shots before Ellett throws it over, and Mironov one-times it to the far side of Kirk McLean, who had to hunt for the puck through a lot of black socks and pants. All kinds of action before the goal was scored. Trevor Linden makes a great shot block to prevent a goal earlier, but nobody could stop that one.
Fifth, number 4, Dave Ellett, and number 93, Doug Gilmour. Time 4:38. Dmitri Mironov, Dave Ellett, and Doug Gilmour. Time 4:38.
They could only give 2 assists. Maybe 2 more were in on the play. They passed it around on the outside, and finally Gilmour to Ellett to Mironov, and a one-timer at 4:38. So the power play goal ties it for Toronto. 1-1. Here's Ojek. Moving in for Vancouver against Lefebvre. Manderville backstopped it with a skate. He's knocked down by Ojek. Ojek still fighting for it on the boards. Macoun is there. Ojek trying to go the other way. Craven is there in front of him. And now Lefebvre, and he can't take it away from Ojek. Great work by Ojek. The centering pass, Bure fanned on it. Shot down the ice. Here's Krushelnyski up on it. Krushelnyski dropped it back in front of Manderville, and he's upended. And there's going to be a penalty to the Vancouver Canucks. As Manderville was upended, and now Ojek takes a swing at Manderville from his knees. It was a big shift for Ojek, really. He was doing great work in behind the Leaf net, and I suppose frustrated. And by the time he got down the other way, he took Manderville out of the play, and he goes for it.
Hedican makes a good play on Krushelnyski to keep him to the outside, and you can see Manderville trying to go to the net on Ojek, and he's tackled at the crease. The Toronto Maple Leafs had 7 shots on goal on the power play and scored on the 7th. And so Pat Burns must have had an interesting conversation with his Toronto Maple Leafs after period 1, because they were badly outplayed in that period. 8-3 in chances for Vancouver in the first, 15-7 the shots, and of the Leafs 7 shots in the first period, 6 of them were by defensemen. Manderville got the only shot for a forward. Pat Quinn and the Vancouver bench complaining about fans perhaps throwing stuff or getting involved with the Leafs or with the Canucks. There's a policeman to make sure. The referees call the policeman. They'll ask who's involved, and if he is, he'll maybe get 1 warning and he'll be gone. You got to be nuts to be bothering the Leaf bench with Pat Quinn on it. He'll pick you up and fire you up into the grave.
Ojek for holding at 5:15. The Leafs 1 for 3 in the power play. It was the Mironov goal on a power play that tied it here in the second period at 4:38. We are approaching the 6-minute mark of the second. Ojik in the penalty box, and Toronto on another power play come to center. It is shot in there by Eastwood. Back to the line where Ellett stopped it and couldn't hang on to it. But he made a fine play to break up a 2-on-1. McIntyre coming in with Hunter. And he can't make contact in front of the net. 3 Leafs are out of the zone. They're stalled near center ice for a moment. Ellett reaching for it, knocked it in across the Vancouver line. And Dmitri will pick the opening to clear it. 1:15 left in the penalty to Gino Ojik. 1-1 the score in the second period of game 2. Gilmour leaving it at the line. Mironov couldn't handle it, but Gilmour does. Very nicely to Ellett. Ellett shot. Creased the post. Ellett again with another chance. Mironov scores! That's another bang-bang play on a power play. Ellett to Mironov, and a bullet again to go by McLean, and a 2-1 Leaf lead.
Well, Don Koharski ran right to the net and pointed it was a goal. I think you're going to see it hit the net cam. What a move by Gilmour then to get the zone. And it was almost an identical shot as Ellett gets it over to Mironov, and from inside the circle he wires it. And you can see how fast the puck came out of the net. His 14th power play point to tie Gilmour in that department for the Leafs. There's the shot. Right up in the corner. McLean, no chance on it. 2-1 Leafs.
6:21, the go-ahead goal for Toronto. Again scored by Mironov. Ellett and Gilmour, same scoring play as the tying goal at 4:38. This one at 6:21. 2-1, Toronto leads, and running. Deals it off for Gilmour going around Gill. Gilmour trying to center it from the other corner. It gets back to Hennick, and he lost it. And Gartner was dropped before he could move on it. But here's Clark. He's in around the net. Clark will circle all the way back to the line. Clark near the line is Rouse. His shot screen blocked in front of the net. Now back to Rouse again, and another penalty coming up. And it's going to be Vancouver again. Boy, the penalties are coming now fast and furiously here. A cross-checking call against the Vancouver Canucks, Sergio Momesso.
Cliff Ronning really upset at this call. And if he doesn't get out of there, Koharski's going to give him an extra 2 or a 10. That's 3 penalties in a row here. That's a tough pill to swallow, no matter what kind of a call any one of them are. Now watch it right here. Gartner from behind, Momesso. And you can see Koharski in the corner, called it right away. Ronning really upset at it. Golfs the puck down the ice. Gives Koharski a piece of his mind. And some Vancouver players got him out of there, so there was no further penalties.
The Leafs scoring 2 goals here in the second period on power plays at 4:38 and 6:21. Both by Mironov, both assisted by Ellett and Gilmour. And now that means the Leafs have taken the lead. 1:43, those 2 goals. And a reminder, coming up tomorrow, the Rangers and New Jersey at 7:30 Eastern time. Game 3 of this series coming up Friday. Toronto's at Vancouver. 9 o'clock Eastern time, 6 Pacific. Ellett shoots. Good save by McLean on that shot by Ellett. Puck from the corner. Andreychuk shot one high, and McLean blocked that. Andreychuk again. The Leafs up 2-1. And on a power play here again, right at the side of the net. Scramble for the McLean, hangs on to it. And it's getting rough and tough around the Vancouver net now. There's Eastwood getting up slowly. He was drilled, trying to jam one in. The goaltender McLean had the puck.
Well, the Leafs power play, which has really been a lifesaver for them in the playoffs, has never looked better than it has on the last two. A neat little pass there, and Eastwood can't put it in. I know the Canucks are upset with Koharski, but they had better have a little chat and see if they can avoid getting the next penalty, as Glenn was very fortunate there that Koharski didn't make the call. Pat Quinn has got to calm his team down. There's more than half a game to go.
Eastwood, Andreychuk, and Borschevsky, the power play line for Toronto. Andreychuk got it back to the blue line. Ellett again winding up. Shoots. Then dribble wide of the net. Mironov on the other side. Dumped it into the corner. And the Canucks shoot it down the ice. Bure is on there and chasing Ellett. Ellett coming back. The goaltender played it away. And Ellett takes it back to the net. Dave Ellett, 1:15 left in the penalty to Momesso. The Leafs lead 2-1 on a pair of power play goals in 1 minute and 43 seconds here in the second period. Borschevsky getting the zone. Mironov again with Ellett. Ellett winds up. Goes along the boards to Gilmour. He tried to give it to Mironov. I guess they all want to give it to Mironov now. That was intercepted. And here's a penalty coming against Toronto. The play is called. And the Leafs get a penalty with 52 seconds left in the Vancouver penalty.
Dave Ellett hooked Pavel Bure off his feet. You know when the other team has had 3 penalties in a row, whether you think they were deserved or not, you better be careful if you're the team that wasn't penalized. And here's the penalty right here, a hook by Ellett. And he knew it before he looked at Koharski. So the power play is cut short, 52 seconds left in Momesso's penalty, 11:45 left in the second period, 2-1 Toronto.
So when Momesso comes back on, 1 minute and 8 seconds on a power play for Vancouver. Toronto leads by 1 goal. 2 power play goals, both scored by Mironov, both assisted by Ellett and Gilmour. 1 minute and 43 seconds apart.
Wally Harris, supervisor of officials, sitting up in the video replay box here at Maple Leaf Gardens.
Nearing the 9-minute mark of the second period. Glenn goes around the net for Vancouver. Right now they are 4-on-4. Gill back. 40 seconds left in the Vancouver penalty. The Leafs move up. Gartner coming down there with Todd Gill on the far left side. Shot. And he grazed the post with that shot going for the far side. Rouse back. 25 seconds left in Momesso's penalty. All the way back to the Vancouver line is Glenn with Babbage. He has to go back to Glenn with Gartner cruising in there. And 15 seconds from now, Vancouver will have the man advantage. Adams coming in with Babbage. Shoots. Potvin the save on the short side. Comes out again. Couldn't get the backhander by him. Now Brown faked the shot. Linden was moving in. And the pass went behind him. Momesso is out of the penalty box. Vancouver now on a power play for another minute. Brown coming up to center ice. The Canucks come in looking to tie the game. Momesso shot it on the boards in the corner, and it goes to Bure on a skate. Bure feeding it back to the line. Again to Bure. Lume waiting at the blue line, and Bure goes in deep. It comes back to him. Bure taking the shot. Lume to Brown. His shot missed on the short side. Bure has it again. 30 seconds left on this power play. Vancouver. It closed. Potvin down. The puck, I think, got to the line and maybe across it. The whistle had gone, and Koharski points to the face-off circle as Linden goes in and slams his stick on the glass. The off-ice officials are from New Jersey, and I think Koharski has a word with Captain Trevor Linden. The face-off, according to Koharski, will be in the big circle to the left of Potvin.
Well, Linden threw his hands up in the air as he thought the puck was in, even though it might be under the goaltender. And I'm sure he's now asking Koharski to go upstairs and check and see whether it was in or not. There's the goal judge. He was a quarter of inch of glass away from getting his head split as Linden reminded him with a tap on the glass that he wants him to turn the light on when the puck's in the net. The goal judge can if he doesn't see it. Koharski's in great shape here, looking at behind the net to the left of Potvin. Mamesso gets 2 swings at it. It hasn't gone in yet. And you can't tell from that shot whether it's in or not.
Well, you can see the referee, Koharski, calling the play there, and he is now right behind that Vancouver player with the puck. Here comes Koharski. There goes Potvin. There's the puck. Very close to the line, but Koharski was in behind the net.
And don't forget, the whistle may have had some effect on whether that puck was in or not. Koharski was adamant it wasn't, and the face-off will remain right where it is. Wally Harris can check the video replays now, and if he saw something Koharski didn't, he can call him over to the timer's bench, and they can do the video goal judge review upstairs.
Nearing the halfway mark of the second period. Shot, score from the blue line. Brown one-time that one, and it went right through the legs of Potvin. And a power play goal here for Vancouver as they win the draw and very smartly tie the game.
Well, 3 of the 4 goals tonight have been scored on one-time shots. This one, the face-off was won directly right there by Linden, and then Brown gets himself in the middle of the rink, one-times it, and Potvin goes down but doesn't close the hole between his legs, and that's exactly where it went. He really should have come across standing up with the stick on the ice. He didn't, and it's 2-2. The Vancouver bench as they watch the power play goal go in, and the game get tied up. 10:05 left in the second period.
So then 9:55, the time of that goal. Brown from Lume and Linden. And it is now 2-2. Eastwood coming in with Borschevsky, and he's knocked down. Borschevsky stealing the puck behind the net. Hit the back of the net trying to center it. Lafayette lost it to Andreychuk. He tried to center it for Borschevsky, and Babbage stopped it. Here's Craven coming out for the Canucks. Craven takes his time, pulled away from Andreychuk, and then Babbage gets away from him. He comes in there with Craven for the net. Scores! Craven takes the pass on a fine rush and with the high one. And Vancouver go out front again. 3-2.
Well, no goalie I know of could have stopped this one. Babbage makes a nice play as the Canucks take a turnover at their own blue line. Babbage back to Craven. It's a 2-on-1 here. Craven walks in to almost the hash marks and just blows it by Potvin. A bullet shot. Here's how Potvin saw it, and that's how he heard it. And it's 3-2 Canucks.
What a great rush by Babbage, though. Moving through everybody at center ice and going in to set up Craven. A perfect pass. So it's 3-2. Vancouver on top again. Craven's third of the playoffs. 10:31 the time. The goals coming 36 seconds apart. Brown on a power play, and now Craven. And the Canucks are in front again here in game 2. McIntyre shoots the puck in from center ice. Gill slapped it on the boards. Borschevsky, or rather Manderville, couldn't get it out. And the Canucks dump it in behind the net. Off the glass and out. 9 minutes remaining. Second period. The Canucks lead 3-2, and we'll be back after this. Pat Quinn, of course, is here tonight. He has 22 wins as the Vancouver coach. Roger Nielsen is next. And our guy, Harry Neal, with Bob McCammon.
Thank God for McCammon and Maloney.
Well, some haven't even gotten there. Pat Quinn and his team leading in this game now. Again, 3-2. 2 goals, 36 seconds apart by the Canucks, so they bounced back pretty good. And have made a pretty good effort to take this crowd out of it. They were really jumping on Mironov's 2 power play goals, but then got one by Brown and then Craven moments ago. So 3-2 Canucks. McIntyre trying to fight for it on the boards. Krushelnyski has him pinned. Now the puck is loose. McIntyre was checked. but they get it in front, and Glynn chopped it back there. McIntyre again around the net. He's coming out front with a shot. Blocked, and another one deflected over the goal. Adams. He's doing pretty good work on the boards. Krushelnyski got it away from him to Gill. Got it high on the glass, and the Leafs do not get it out. Baumgartner, a second attempt, gets it out to center, and it's hammered back in. Toronto moving up. Manderville up over the line. Can't hang on to it, and it's cleared quickly to center ice. Gill drives it in. The Leafs are changing with 8 minutes left in the second period. And Dmitri takes a pass near his own line. Gilmour flipped it back in for Toronto. Ronning will come back. He and Dmitri going the other way, away from Ronning. Jelena getting away from Gilmour and up to Ronning. Running across center ice with Momesso, and he shoots it in. There goes Jelena. Lost control of it, and Mironov poked it ahead along the boards. Clark gets it out. Gilmour, the pass behind him. Canucks dump it in again for Ellett and Mironov. Mironov's pass to Clark. Put on the brakes. Threw it back near the line. It comes out to center. And Mironov has to wait. Waited for Clark to come back on side. Clark and Brown bumped together. Clark on the boards with Gartner there against Jelena. And the Canucks come up with it and shoot it inside the Leaf line. 7 minutes remaining, second period. 3-2 Vancouver. Here's Linden. Quick pass ahead to Adams. Bure on the right wing takes it over the line. Bure shot. That's deflected by Macoun. Berg missed it. Linden and Bure. Bure away from Lefebvre all the way back to the line. Took a shot, hit Lefebvre. And Berg shot it too far for Osborne. Goes all the way down the ice, and that's an icing call against Toronto with 6:28 remaining in the second period. Toronto, game 2 of the Western Conference Final. I'm Bob Cole with Harry Neal in the booth. Ron McLean and Don Cherry and the Hockey Night in Canada crew bringing you this game coast to coast. The Canucks are leading the Leafs 3-2. We're in the second period. 6:15 remaining. As Berg comes up, takes a shot, comes to Macoun, and he rolled it in just wide. Berg fired it back to the net. Zezel is there for Toronto. Zezel waits back there, all the way to the line to Lefebvre, and his shot deflected into the crowd. And the face-off is going to be inside the Vancouver line with 6:02 remaining.
Well, one of the assets the Vancouver Canucks have had for a couple of years now is their team size. You didn't notice it as much in game 1 as you have tonight. They've controlled the boards in the Toronto zone with their pinching defensemen, and in their own zone they've been far more aggressive than they were in game 1. And you can see the Leaf players, when they get the puck, at least 5-on-5, they don't have much time to get done what they're thinking of doing.
Lafayette against Eastwood. Todd Gill from the blue line. Ellett, low shot. That went through the crease, intended for Andreychuk, who was checked. Borschevsky goes back to the goal, sweeps it back out front, and it's cleared by the Canucks down inside the Leaf line. Eastwood had to chop it to center. Got it back again, knocked it down, and then Lafayette played it ahead for Craven. Craven nearly got in. Courtnall was stopped. And Borschevsky turned back. Comes to the line, and the pass through center. Back to the line, and Ellett up to Andreychuk. Andreychuk, he's tied up. Now his pass in behind Eastwood. But he took it off the boards and left it. It comes back to Gill. Screen shot. Kicked out by McLean. Canucks clear it now. Courtnall goes through center. In over the Toronto line. Courtnall stopped. Mironov poked it ahead. Gilmour and Gartner come in. Gilmour trying to get in around the defense and played it back out front. And it comes over the line to center. Rouse is backing up. 4:50 left in the second period. Vancouver 3, Toronto 2. 3 power play goals have been scored here in the second period. 2 by the Leafs, both by Mironov and Brown for Vancouver. Jelena bumped. Clark fell. Momesso brought the puck in. He tried to go around Mironov, but couldn't, and Gilmour is deep in his own zone to start it out. Gilmour left it at the blue line, is whacked down the ice by Mironov. He's moving up with Gilmour. Clark back of the goal, comes out with the pass through the crease, and Jelena takes over, and Clark missed him. Jelena moving away from Clark. At the blue line is Momesso. His shot, Jelena right in front of the net, trying to deflect by Potvin. And the Leafs hang on and shoot it down the ice. It'll be an icing call with Glenn back. And 3:50 remaining in the second period. Up during the second intermission after 40 minutes with Ron McLean. Tonight, Ron talks with Sergio Momesso of the Vancouver Canucks. And we're going to have a feature for you on the Toronto Maple Leaf checking line of Zezel, Osborne, and Berg. 3:50 left in the second period. Linden poking the puck into the corner, but the Leaf player Zezel went down on that face-off. He and Linden squared off on the draw. Won by Linden as he kicked it kind of through the skates of Zezel into the corner.
Well, quite often Linden, who's a big, strong boy, and Zezel both try and tie up the guy's stick that they're facing off against and then kick it back. And what happens is the stick comes off your opponent's stick. And that's what happens right here. You can see Linden's fighting Zezel's stick, as they know that one of Zezel's better face-off plays is to tie your stick up and kick it back. And I don't know whether it was Peter Zezel's stick or Linden's stick that hit him in the head. He seems to be all right, but he's going to miss his shift here.
Again to the right of Potvin. Eastwood won the draw cleanly, and then he knocked Linden down. And the Leafs come out. Eastwood got loose to center, went in over the line against Lume. Eastwood in on the boards, fell to his knees, and the Canucks take over. This is Adams lugging the puck away to center ice. Over the Leaf line, Adams dropping it back, coming in for the shot. Bure! That stop rebound off the arm of Potvin. Back of the net. Adams trying to fight for it with Macoun. Osborne threw it back there into the crowd. Adams again. Macoun can't take it away from him. Adams holding it with a skate. Now the two players fall to the ice, and Lume knocked it in there for Bure. He shot it back out front. Glenn was covered. Berg over there. Linden hit him. At the line, it's kept in by Bure, and Potvin gloves it, and he'll stop the play. With Linden coming in there close, and Macoun keeping him a safe distance.
It was lovely to see Jack. He was down to wish his Vancouver Canucks good luck.
There's your score. The Canucks lead the Leafs 3-2. 2:50 left in the second period. Face off to the left of Potvin. And here it is. Over on the boards, Tim Hunter. He's number 19. Gill kicked it away. Comes back to Hunter again, and off his glove, I think, and into the crowd. So the play called, and Koharski says the face-off will come out.
Well, I mentioned Tim Hunter and his leadership. He doesn't play a lot, so his leadership on the ice I don't think is what it is off the ice. I know in Calgary, when they brought a new player in, either by the draft or by a trade, a young player especially, they always told Tim Hunter in the off-season, get this guy on a fitness program, will you? And when Tim Hunter knocks at your door and says it's time to go to the gym, Bob, what are you going to say to him? You're going to the gym.
He's been in quite a few wars in this National Hockey League over the years. And the Canucks are offside this time. Craven stalled at the blue line trying to come in. Craven scored the goal to give the Canucks the lead at 10:31 after Brown had tied it at 9:55. 36 seconds apart, those two goals.
Well, neither Coach Burns or Quinn have used their fourth line very often in this period, but they're out there tonight, and you got two tough dudes in Hunter in black and Baumgartner in white.
And a conversation happening right there, I believe. Puck is dropped cleanly, and it's on the boards for Gill, who shoots it away. Hunter and Baumgartner bump together as they cross the line in the Vancouver zone. Baumgartner went in there, and Hunter grabbed him into the corner, pushed him off to one side, and took the puck away from him. Turning is Gill. Up for Andreychuk. He shot it in. Hunter and Baumgartner are still very close. Now Baumgartner in there, and he ran into Dmitri on the boards. Here's Babbage. He's upended by Andreychuk. The Leafs center it right in front of the net. Andreychuk. It's knocked down, and here's Craven who'll bring it out. Craven gets it out over the line and up to center ice. Craven's pass taken by Hunter. He's in a bit too far to get a shot from that angle. Hangs on to it as the Canucks were changing, and he knew that. Then Adams took a quick shot, stopped by Potvin. Andreychuk got away from Linden and shot the puck to center where Clark picked it up and didn't get much on the shot. A low one onto the stick of McLean. Andreychuk bumping in there. He and Brown collided, and Andreychuk appeared to be injured, and as you can see is very slow to get up.
So is Brown. Brown had dumped the puck up the boards, and Andreychuk had thrown the hit, and neither one of them appear to have escaped being at least shaken up. Brown throws it up the glass, and Andreychuk takes the hit. Brown almost gets out of the way, and Andreychuk flies into the glass and the boards, and you can see both of them are a little under the weather. They seem to be all right now. Brown stays out. Andreychuk goes off. Here's the Hunter Baumgartner routine. Finally, he shakes Hunter and goes into the corner for the hit on Dmitri.
Minute 15 left in the period. Vancouver leads 3-2. Gilmour is waved out. Gartner comes in against Linden and wins it. Glenn in front of his own net. Shot it up there for Adams. He had to leave it for Bure, and he had to go back. Bure circles. Gartner went in there to check him. And Adams shot it from center ice. Macoun back. Coming out slowly. Trying to get away, and he threw it up over the line where Gilmour is nailed by Linden and sent flying. Puck is shot in back of the Leaf net. 43 seconds remaining in the period. Glenn couldn't keep it in. Comes out over the line. The Canucks have it, and it's Bure again. Bure stick handles in. Hangs onto it. Going to the corner. He centered it to Adams, and he was checked. Bure knocked it down with a high stick. And that will bring the face-off outside the line with 27 seconds left in the period.
Well, in this matchup, the first time these two teams, as Leafs and Canucks, have ever played in the playoffs, Toronto has 3 players who have played Vancouver at one time or another in the playoffs before. Krushelnyski, Gilmour, and Macoun, and the Canucks have 4 who have played against the Leafs: Ronning, Brown, Kortnelid, and Hedigan. Gilmour and Linden. Linden's throwing his body around tonight, and when he does, it's usually the other guy that goes down. This time, Doug Gilmour.
27.7 seconds remaining in the second period. Trevor Linden, he assisted on the Brown goal. That tied the game here in the second. Bure in the first, 1-0 Vancouver. 2 in a row by Mironov on Leaf power plays. Then Brown on a Vancouver power play, and Craven. 3-2 Vancouver. 23 seconds remaining. Babbage shooting one in. Here comes McIntyre. He is stopped. Craven went after it, chopped it, and Krushelnyski got it ahead to Rouse. 14 seconds remaining, and Rouse's long shot is wide. Baumgartner overskating it. McIntyre bumped. Craven didn't see the pass right behind him. And with 3 seconds left, they just roll it across the line. And the horn goes to end of the second period. The shots now after 2 periods are even. Toronto outshooting Vancouver in that period, 18-10.
Toronto out-chancing Vancouver 7-6, but most of their chances came on the power play. 5-on-5, Vancouver has been the superior team after 2 periods. On the power play, which has been great for the Leafs the whole playoff, they're making a game of it.
2 goals by Mironov. Brown and Craven replying for Vancouver, and they lead 3-2. And coming up, Sergio Momesso will be in our studio to chat with Ron McLean. So after 2 periods here in Game 2, it is 3-2 Vancouver. Toronto, and they had a lead for the first time. Brown on a power play for Vancouver tied it, and then Craven 36 seconds later gave the Canucks a 3-2 lead. That's where we are now. Vancouver 3, Toronto 2, and the 3rd period underway. Diddick mishandled it, tried to give it to Babbage, hooked it back too deep, but that was okay. Babbage gave it to Diddick again, and he had to shoot it away as he was checked. And Rouse will come back to play it, no icing. Rouse to Baumgartner. Baumgartner knocked it down with his hand. It is shot high over the glass by Diddick into the crowd.
Oh, Vancouver's getting a little something from almost everyone. 7 different Canucks have got a point tonight, and no one has more than 1 for the Leafs. The 3, Mironov, Ellett, and Gilmour have all the points.
Game 3 coming up tomorrow. The Rangers will be in New Jersey for their Game 3 at 7:30 Eastern Time. Game 3 of this series, the Western Conference Final. Friday the 20th, Toronto will be at Vancouver. That's 6 o'clock Pacific time and 9 o'clock Eastern time. Here in Game 2, the Canucks trying to even the series before the scene does shift to Vancouver. They're on the puck, and throwing it high was Bure. It was tipped by the Leaf players that the faceoff is going to be in the Leaf zone to the left of Felix Potvin. Slow start to this 3rd period. Rather cautious, Vancouver. Well, no, they do not want to let the big crowd back in it, so they're careful. And the Leafs can't afford to see Vancouver go up 4-2, so they're careful. Macoun back to the net. With Zezel dropping it to him. Going dangerously by Bure, and got it by him. Up to center ice. It's Osborne knocking it down and coming in with a shot. Right on the net. McLean the save. Tipped down the ice, and an icing call coming up. Unless Bure can get there ahead of Lefebvre. He does not. Gave it a good shot, though. That's icing against Vancouver.
Well, the Adams, Bure, Linden line, Vancouver's best offensive group. 10 shots on goal in the first 2 periods. Bure scored 1 and Linden assisted on the other. You can't give that line those kinds of chances and get away with it. In Game 1, the Zezel group not only outplayed the Linden line, but outscored them, but not tonight.
.57 seconds into the 3rd period of Game 2, the Western Conference Final. Trevor Linden, the captain of the Canucks, bends in against Gilmour. Gilmour won the draw. The shot by Gartner was tipped by Adams, I think, and that went up high.
Well, Gartner had a great chance. You see the puck lying on the awning there. This guy's going to go right through the awning. Gartner had a shot, a good chance right off the draw, but it was deflected out of the rink by the Vancouver defender.
Again, the face-off to the left of Kirk McLean. Back to the line. The fade shot doesn't reach the net. Clark falling, swept it into the corner. Lume gave it to Bure. Up to Linden. He strides to center and played it in for Adams. Linden going for the net. Gilmour will pick it up for Toronto. Bure stopped him. Gartner poked at it. It went over the Vancouver line. And it's shot high by Glenn out to center again. Adams and Linden on this rush. They shoot it in back of the Leaf net where Macoun takes over for Toronto. The Canucks are changing. Gartner with the pass at center, faking the shot, looking for room on Glenn, and doesn't find it. Clark and Gartner went in there against Glenn. It is Courtnall for Vancouver. Lafayette had it go off his skate, and here's Dave Ellett again. Back to Gill. Gill threw Gartner's skates down the ice. Icing waved off on that one. And Babbage turns around the net. Coming out across the line and near center is Babbage to backhand it in. Gill saw Craven come after it, and he moved back quickly. And it's Andreychuk coming down with Eastwood. Andreychuk shot deflected by Diddick wide of the net. Eastwood sweeping in there to pick it up on the boards and losing it. And Courtnall is down to center. Courtnall with Diddick. It comes to Craven. The shot blocked. Rebound through the crease. Ronning winds up. And Potvin blocked the short side on that shot. Gill fired it to the line. Borschevsky got it out. And Courtnall circled at his own blue line. Courtnall getting it by Ellett. Here comes running. Ellett takes the puck from him. Krushelnyski back deep in his own zone. Trying to move it out. Rolled it down the right side by Borschevsky. We are nearing the 3-minute mark of the third, and here's Ronning in with a shot. Potvin. The left pad save. Jelena after the rebound. Jelena has his skate on it. He is knocked down by Andreychuk. Ronning centered it a break. Intercepted by Manderville, but the two defenders get back quickly. Two good skating defensemen, Brown and Hedican. And they were back. Mironov shot it in. Krushelnyski takes a bump from Hedican. Ronning trying to lift it out of the zone. He does that. And it's Manderville waiting for the Leafs to get back on side. Nearing the 4-minute mark of the third period, here's Krushelnyski. Shot one in wide of the net. Manderville missed the puck. And Momesso was bumped by Baumgartner. Pass comes high over the stick of Jelena down the ice. Icing waved off. The Canucks are changing as the Leafs come back, and Rouse waits at center. He shoots it into the Vancouver zone. McLean had to cover up. It came off the glass. A strange hop. Osborne shot it in deep. From the corner, Berg flipped it into Zezel around the net. Zezel is hauled down. Wanted a penalty there. The play goes right on. Zezel centered it. Shot. Stopped by McLean. Now Macoun again. Weak shot this time. And here's a penalty. It's going to be Brian Glynn who gets the penalty. The Leafs on a power play.
Well, Brian Glynn upsets Zezel and wasn't called for a penalty right here. The fans hollered, the Leafs complained, and then before the whistle went, this is the one where he is called, which doesn't look nearly as serious as the one that wasn't.
Well, it's a power play for Mironov again. He passes the puck to Ellett, shoots it, deflected wide of the net. Gilmour poked it in behind the goal for Andreychuk. Clark in front. Can't get a shot. Andreychuk again. Whipped the pass to the far side to Ellett. He put it in for Gilmour. Gilmour to Ellett. Winding up. Shoots. Scores! Shooting from the line.
Well, the Leafs have been dynamite on the power play. 7 of their 10 chances to score in the first 2 periods were on the power play, and Ellett lets one go from 57 feet. I'm not sure McLean could see it, or did Wendel Clark tip it? It was a nice low shot. Wendel gets in behind 2 Canuck penalty killers. And you can see the problem McLean has trying to find the shot. And it just goes inside the post, and the Leafs tie it up with their 3rd power play goal of the night. 3 goals for the Leafs, all by their defensemen, all on the power play.
Number 93, Doug Gilmour, and number 14, Dave Andreychuk. Time 4:37. Dave Ellett from Doug Gilmour and Dave Andreychuk. Time 4:37.
4:37, the time of the goal. Ellett on the power play, tying it. Gilmour and Andreychuk assisted on that goal. So it's 3-3 now in the third period, just past the halfway mark, or 5-minute mark. Drop back to the line, Andreychuk Andreychuk coming in. He can't get a shot. Just over 5 minutes gone in the third. Andreychuk knocked it down. And he faked the shot and then took the shot. It's deflected in front. And the train coming up. And he held on with Manderville right in on the doorstep.
What a play by Brian Glynn to negate a great opportunity that Andreychuk would have had. Andreychuk's a very patient man when he gets the puck in front of the net. And watch what he does here to number 28, Glynn. Coming up now, you're going to see it in a second. And you're absolutely sure that Glynn's out of the play. Right here. But Glynn comes around with a stick. 360-degree turn and knocks the puck off Andreychuk's stick. And then Eastwood tips a slow roller into McLean. An emergency but effective play by Brian Glynn.
3-3 tie. Nearing the 6-minute mark of the third. Shot from the blue line. McLean reacting as if he couldn't see it. It was screened, and he made a fine stop. Bure can't play it. The Leafs keep the pressure on in there, but now Vancouver get going. Linden is moving up. Linden in across the line. Centered it, and Potvin will hang on to it. As Osborne was coming back and checking Adams. And it's tied at 3, and we'll be back after this.
See the effect Doug Gilmour's had on the Leafs. He's only played 35 playoff games as the Toronto Maple Leafs, 60 points, closing in on the great Dave Keon for tops among career Leafs in the playoffs.
He has 3 assists in this game. The Leafs have 3 goals.
And leads the NHL in scoring in these 94 playoffs.
Vancouver has 3 goals. We are tied here in the third period. And coming up to the 6-minute mark. Puck shot to center ice. Hedican is moving up, put a weak shot in on Potvin. And that was called on the offside. Back to the blue line.
Don Koharski wanted me to thank the friends of his who got in touch with him last week after his mother died. He said it was a great comfort to he and his family to hear from so many people at a time like that. So from Don Koharski, thank you to his friends. His mother died a week ago.
From the face-off, Toronto's Doug Gilmour comes back in his own zone. Out to Gill. He's forced to stop right there, and the Canucks jump on the puck and bring it in. Momesso and Jelena. Jelena getting in a good spot. Jelena tried to make that play to the left wing. It didn't work for Babbage, who was coming in off the blue line. Now Ronning is sizing up the situation before shooting it in. Potvin stepping back to the net to stop it for Gill, and he wrapped it on the boards, and he got it out over the line. Jelena put it back to Babbage. Babbage's pass in off Momesso, and Ellett was checking him, and the Leafs get it back down the ice. Tipped by Clark and all the way down the ice, and that's icing against the Maple Leafs.
Well, one thing, the Vancouver Canucks almost to a man. We saw Ronning, we see Jelena. Nobody is giving Wendel Clark very much physical respect. A lot of teams don't bother him. They don't want to upset him because we all know what he's done in this league physically. But the Canucks, almost to a man, showing no regard for the tough guy from Kevington, Saskatchewan.
Martin Jelena has become a more involved player, I think, since coming over to Vancouver.
Well, you can see that the biggest problem the Canucks and the former playoff opponents Chicago and San Jose have had putting up with the point production from the blue line. Vancouver 32 points, Toronto 46, and they've had a field day tonight on the power play, Mironov and Ellett.
From the face-off, right back to Lume. Lume coming up along the boards away from Andreychuk. He knocked it in back of the net to Craven. Craven centered it, and Potvin reached out and gloved that pass out and held it with Courtnall in front of him.
In the 94 playoffs, especially Hedican and Brown.
Face off to the right of Potvin. From the blue line, Glenn's shot doesn't reach the net. Hit a couple of sticks, and Dave Ellett Hooked it on the boards for Manderville. He can't get it out. Moving up was Rouse to shoot it off the boards down the ice. Canucks come back. Krushelnyski checking his man. Fell to the ice along with Lumet. And the Canucks, Lumet again. Feeds it back. Glynn stepping up quickly. Getting to center ice. He'll shoot it in. Ellett has to turn to get in there in front of Cardinal, and he can't do it. Cardinal kicked it loose. Ellett trying to knock it loose along with Rouse, and now they'll get a face-off. As the player on the ice, Craven, had the puck underneath him. He just did not move and would not.
I think that's what Linden is appealing to Koharski on. But now with Jurke Lume and Hedigan and Brown, plus the size that Glynn and Diddick give them, Vancouver's got a well-rounded defense. This is across the street from Maple Leaf Gardens. The Toronto Raptors are having their first practice.
Face-off is just outside the Toronto blue line.
The door, Bob, the door on the Vancouver bench, the north end of it seems to be broken. So there's a delay here until they finally got it sorted out. The defensemen for the Canucks stay at the north end, so they're closer to the goal for changes on the fly. They had to get out of the way while they fixed it.
Dave Ellett has tied the game here in the third period at 4:37. Gilmour and Andreychuk assisted. It was a power play goal. Fourth power play goal of the hockey game. The Leafs have 3 of them. We are coming up at the 8-minute mark of the third now. Linden coming in there, fighting for it. It comes out in front of the net. Bure has to go to the boards. Linden goes into the corner after Macoun, who's knocked down, and he falls right on the puck. And again, play is called.
Jamie Macoun was without his glove, and I think he was happy to go down and get the whistle so he could get it back. Linden gives him a shot from behind. Macoun goes down right on top of the puck. And sometimes that's exactly what you want if your team's been in trouble or if you're without part of your equipment.
Linden, Bure, and Adams. The big line for Vancouver. Brown and Hedigan are the 2 defensemen parked inside the blue line. Zezel on the face-off for Toronto. He wins it again with his feet. Comes right into the net, though. Bure somehow picked it up and went in there, and Potvin robbed him. He was blinding speed, a flash, picking up the puck after Zezel had kicked it loose. Watch.
The Leaf forwards go right by Bure to go to the point, and the Leaf left defenseman Macoun gets in the battle for the loose puck and forgets to take his man on the defensive zone face-off alignment, who was Pavel Bure.
He just jumped him there, picked it up, and got a great scoring chance. Potvin stopped him. So it remains 3-3. Vancouver winning the draw. And a pass in front of the net. Adams knocked down, and Osborne comes out. A long shot knifed away right to Berg, though. He hit the side of the net. Osborne went in there, and the Canucks pick it up. Hedigan shoved it ahead to Linden. He goes down to Adams, trying to drop it back. Adams again around the net, centered it right out to Bure, and he fanned on that one. Hedigan shot it in. Vancouver really pressing here now to take the lead again in the third period. We played 8 minutes and 40 seconds of the third. Brown hammers one in. Vancouver trying to change. Gilmour with a little room on that change. Comes out to Gartner, and he has to shoot it in. Babbage stopped it and chases it. Babbage backhands the puck to the center ice area. There's Ellett with Gill, and Gill got rid of it quickly. 9 minutes gone in the third. 3-3 tie. Game 2. Leafs winning the first one in overtime. Running stopped by Clark. Todd Gill right in front of his own net, sweeping it out to Gilmour, and there goes Gartner on the wing taking the pass. Back to Gilmour, back in, around the net for Clark. Clark can't center it. He's been covered by Gerald Diddick. Diddick coming along the boards and getting ahead with it out to center. Ellett to the other side to Gill. Back through the middle is Gilmour with Clark. Can't reach it. Clark went in after it. Gilmour comes in to help. Clark rattled it on the boards. Diddick was there, and he put it high over the glass. As we come up to the halfway mark of the third period, and we are tied at 3. Hockey Night in Canada's Ward Cornell talking to Ken Dryden, who won the Conn Smythe Trophy 23 years ago today. The Canadians won the Stanley Cup. And we remind you that closed captioning of tonight's game is sponsored by Household, providing financial services for the family. That was Dryden's first swing in the National Hockey League.
Can you imagine he won the Conn Smythe Trophy before he won the Calder Trophy?
Yes.
That will never be done again.
Here's Mironov getting set. Shoots one right on, and McLean to save. Loose puck in front. Gilmour shot his, or Manderville shot his block by McLean. Out in front again, off his skate and just wide. Manderville without the helmet. In front of the goal, had a good chance. McLean beat him cleanly. In back of the net. Eastwood trying to knock it out front again. Can't. Andreychuk went in there throwing his weight around. So did Manderville. But it's Courtnall of the Canucks getting up there with Craven. Craven coming in with Courtnall. The pass behind him. And Eastwood comes back. He lost it. Craven centered it right out front. Todd made a great save. Coming in from the line, Jeff Brown set up perfectly. Got a low shot in there. That Potvin somehow saw and stopped.
Well, Jeff Brown, dangerous, coming off the point or joining the rush. Both goalies tonight have been excellent in close, but they've been beaten by howitzers from well out. And here's a great chance for Brown. You can see him come right down the pipe. Nobody anywhere near him. Steps inside, and it's tough to beat Potvin, as I've said before, on low shots. Manderville, who looks like a raccoon, has been a physical force, taking in all kinds of Canucks. He and Brian Glynn had quite a physical contest in front of the net. Manderville being... Take a look at him, boy. Before this series ends, there'll be a few guys look a little like him.
Again, Vancouver with Linden, Adams, and Bure. They had a great shift last time. Couldn't score, but came very close. Zezel shoots it in for Berg, coming for the net. It is scooped in there by Osborne, back of the goal. He one-hands it out front, and the Canucks. Trevor Linden to the line as Adams at center. That's turned back by Macoun. Brown and Hedican, and he is moving up over the left line. Hedican shot, booted away by Potvin. Macoun falling in the corner. It is passed all the way back to Brown. He gets the shot, and that was blocked by Berg. Bure on the puck. Bure waiting, coming for the net. The pass goes by everybody. And Zezel just calmly takes it off the boards and skates out with it. Now he dumps it in. Right on the net, and the Leafs will change. 8:40 remaining in the third period. It's a 3-3 tie. Poked in over the line to Clark. Clark and Gilmour. Clark can't make the play, and back to the net. McLean shot it high. It hit Gartner. Momesso got it up to Bure. He's on a while. Bure coming in. Burst of speed now over the brakes. Bure rolled it in for Ronning. Ronning turning around in the corner. Still has it. Now he goes to the ice. And Gill gets the puck for Toronto. Going the other way, away from Momesso. Gartner couldn't knock it down. Ronning again. Backhands it in there. Ellett takes his time, coming back to the net. Comes out front. He's upended. And out to center ice is Gartner. Ellett has been hurt. Gartner shot. That was deflected and just missed. Ellett getting to the Leaf bench very slowly. 7:45 remaining in the third. 3-3. The score. Jelena tried to go in and was fouled before he could get near the net. Leafs shoot it down the ice. That will get an icing call. We have 7:31 remaining in the third period, and we are tied.
Martin Jelena, since being added to on waivers to the Vancouver roster, has added a dimension to his game, and it's a physical dimension. You can see there he gets away with a trip, but he has really been a physical force for the Vancouver Canucks. The word this morning at practice was that he's been rewarded with a new contract. Quebec must be shuddering to think they let him go on waivers.
Here's Lumet stepping up from the blue line. He is caught by Andreychuk. The two of them continue to fight for it. Eastwood poked it away. Manderville is trying to catch up. Eastwood will go in. Right in. And he rolled it wide. McLean got a stick out in front of him. The puck went wide of the net. Here come the Canucks looking for their scoring chance. It is moved up over the line. Here's Craven getting in. And Potvin hugging the post on the short side. Stopped it. The Canucks get on there to pick it up. Hedigan, that fast skating defenseman, was there. Plenty of time. Eastwood tried to center it to Andreychuk. That was blocked. Brown for Vancouver. Poked it ahead. Cardinal stopped at the Leaf blue line. Kicked it loose. The Canucks are changing. We are tied 3-3 with 6:35 remaining in the third period. It is Lefebvre coming out. Toronto winning the first game in overtime. Tied here. Zezel to Berg. Zezel fanned on the rebound. Berg got it in front. It hit his skate. And the Canucks come back for it. Here's Adams moving up with Bure and Linden. Adams carries right in on goal. And Potvin will take no chances with this trio. And he'll get down on it. A good rush by Adams. Coming in on the right side and getting to the net.
Well, Adams, a very dangerous one-on-one rusher. He looks like he's got a step on Macoun. Somehow Macoun holds him off, steers him into the end of the rink, and an easy stop by Potvin. Toronto gets a great chance here as Eastwood roars in, 2-on-1. You can see he can't make the pass, so he tries to slip it between the legs of McLean and can't do it. Craven goes to the net without the puck and gets two chances. One a little tip and then a little rebound. So the game, as it now looks like it's almost an overtime, has opened up, as did the overtime in game one.
Which was won by Zezel and the Leafs. At 16:55 of overtime. Mike Eastwood on the bench, talking with Gilmour. On the ice is Zezel on this face-off against Linden. 6:11 remaining in the third period. A 3-3 tie here in game two. Zezel wins it from Linden and Lefebvre goes behind the Leaf goal. Linden chased him. He had to rip it fast off the boards in the corner. And that will bring about another face-off in the Leaf zone as that is icing. 5:59 left.
Now the Leafs, when they go up the boards now after having an awful time in the first period, are putting a lot more mustard on it. And I think they're saying that we have to get it out. And if we take the odd icing doing it, it's well worth it because the pinching, ever-alert Vancouver defensemen have kicked many pucks back into the Leaf zone after they've tried to come up the boards on the breakout.
Shots now are 38-36 in favor of Toronto. So there have been plenty of chances. 6 goals have been scored in the game. 4 of them on power plays. 3 by the Leafs. We are tied at 3. Under 6 minutes left in the third period, and Berg is happy to just get the puck out of the zone down the ice. This time they wave off the icing, and Berg is up there to stop it. Gets a shot. He missed the net by a fair margin. And 2 Canucks jump on it, one of them Bure. So that's 2.5. He comes in and tried to get a shot, and that was blocked. Adams back of the net. Adams whipped it onto Bure, and he creased the bar, shooting that one away high. Diddick lifted one from center, and out of the net is Potvin. The Canucks are changing. 5:25 remaining in the third. The count, and it's stolen by Ronning. And a penalty coming up now. Macoun, I think, will get the penalty as the Canucks come in. And the play now called. And a Toronto penalty coming to Jamie Macoun. Jamie Macoun for holding here at 14:49. A Vancouver power play coming.
Remember one coach telling me, don't change your mistakes. There's the mistake. Macoun runs out at Ronning and then tackles him. So the giveaway got him in trouble. The tackle got him 2 minutes.
There he is in the penalty box. 5:11 remaining in the third period. And the Canucks, who have scored one power play goal, that was back at 9:55 of the second when Brown scored from Lume and Linden, and they're on the ice now. Linden on the face-off. Lume parked to his right, and here's Brown. Coming up to the line, going the other way. They go in with Courtnall leading the attack. Courtnall centered it. It's knocked away by Manderville. Lume comes back. And Brown will go all the way back around his own net. Manderville and Gilmour, penalty killers up front for Toronto. Rouse and Ellett, the defenseman. Linden dropping it back to Courtnall. His shot deflected away by the stick of Potvin to the line. It is cleared into the corner, and Courtnall held up by Ellett. The Leafs trying to clear it out. Gilmour coming back. Courtnall there on him. Rouse fed it back. Bure was there as Linden around the net. Center to Brown. Back to Linden. Linden to Brown a second time. And now Linden from the boards. Sizing it up. Centering pass to Lume. Scores! Great play by Trevor Linden to set it up, and the defenseman came all the way in. And the Canucks have taken a 4-3 lead on a power play goal with 4:14 remaining.
That's the 5th goal scored by a defenseman tonight. Jyrki Lume circles in from the point and gets in the seam, or in the middle of the rink where nobody was, and just slid a nice little pass. Gilmour's tied up worrying about Bure, and he just shot it as he was going by the net, and it gets in on the stick side with 4:14 to go. Vancouver Canucks get a power play goal to go ahead. Jyrki Lume.
Vancouver goal scored by number 21, Jyrki Lume. Assist number 16, Trevor Linden. And number 22, Jeff Brown. Time 15:46.
15:46, the time of the goal. The go-ahead goal for the Vancouver Canucks. Lume from Linden and Brown. And that's Lume's second of the playoffs. A big goal it is with under 4 minutes remaining in the third period. And the Canucks are ahead again, but now Eastwood coming in off the wing. Centered one. Here's a shot by Gartner, well up high. He was open and coming in full speed and slapped it high. Ellett comes back to pick it up in his own zone away from Craven. Eastwood again going to the right wing, and in goes Gartner. Dropped it to Clark. He turns back and falls, and Craven brings it back out. Dumped it down inside the Leaf line. 3:25 remaining in the third. Vancouver leading, looking to tie the series. Through center, Andreychuk up over the line with a shot. Rising high over the net. He went in after it. Lume knocked it in behind the net. Gilmour knocked it down and got it again. Gilmour decides to go around the net the other way. Lume chasing him. Mironov is in there deep. Mironov on the boards with under 3 minutes remaining in the third period. And the Leafs pressing right here. It is Andreychuk and Gilmour chasing the puck, and now Bure will take it. Bure putting it on the boards out to center ice. 2:40 remaining. Gartner can't handle a pass. It is slapped down the ice by the Canucks, and they'll change. 2:35 remaining. 4-3 Vancouver. Up through center. Borschevsky gets over the line. Trying to go in. Got to the corner and centered it. And Clark was on there to bump his man. But the Canucks shoot it away down the ice. It's going to be an icing call. With 2 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in regulation time. And the Canucks have again gone ahead 4-3.
I'd like to give a hockey night in Canada get well wish to Kevin Wells, 21 years old. He's in the hospital in St. John's, Newfoundland after a serious car accident. He's listening and watching this game. I hope you feel better soon, Kevin, from Springdale, Newfoundland.
2:14 remaining. The crowd trying to get the Leafs going. They are trailing the Canucks 4-3 in the second game of the Western Conference Final. The Canucks get up over center, and coming in there is McIntyre. Shot! Stopped by Potvin. McIntyre with a nice rush. Got right in on the net. 2 minutes remaining. Leafs come out. It's Gill getting the center. Over the line with Clark, and he shoots it on the boards in the corner, and out was McLean to stop it. The Canucks dump it out of the zone. 1:45 remaining in regulation time. 4-3 Vancouver as they look to tie the series at a game each. Going back to Vancouver for the next 3. 1:30 remaining. The Leafs will try to get Potvin out. First they have to control it and get it down the ice inside the line. Potvin starting to move. It is Clark going in. 1:15 remaining. Gartner shot. Great save. Kirk McLean saving the day for the Canucks. On that shot, it was labeled for the far corner and not too high. A great save by McLean.
Well, McLean has done this before. After game number 4 in the Calgary series, he's been the Canucks game breaker. And he gives you a sample right here of what he did so often. And often in overtime. Clark throws it in the middle, right here to Gartner, who lets it go, and McLean, with Doug Gilmour roaring in for a rebound, makes the catch.
I think Burns will call a timeout right here with 1:14 remaining. And Potvin, well, we'll see. The face-off is going to be in the Vancouver zone to the right of Kirk McLean. The go-ahead goal coming from Lumet on a power play at 15:46 of this third period. 4-3 Vancouver. Shots in the third by Toronto Harry 14 and by Vancouver 13. It has been that close. And a reminder coming up. You saw the save just made by McLean. I'm sure he'll get some consideration for the Molson 3-star selection, which comes up right after this hockey game.
Well, Pat Burns is showing an offensive face-off play with the goalie out. 1:14 to go. So the Leafs ought to know where they're going if they win the draw. And equally important, they have to know where they're going if they lose it. Because recovering a lost draw may be just as important as doing something if you win it.
All right, here it is. Gilmour on the draw. Gartner to his left. Andreychuk, Clark on the ice. Mironov and Ellett. Empty net down there, and the Canucks had a chance to clear it and did not. Gilmour on the boards with Clark. Mironov pinching in, and it's out over the line to center. 1:05 remaining in the third period. Ellett backing up. Now Clark turning. Gartner rifles it in the final minute of the third period. Vancouver 4, Toronto 3. Ellett stopped it. Into the corner he goes with Gilmour. Ellett back of the net trying to center it. It's going to be Linden who'll get a chance to bring it out. He did not. But now it's shot to the line. Hit Linden. Bure across center. No, he had to back up. Bure now a shot at the empty net. And it's stopped by Mironov, who faded back there. 30 seconds remaining. Clark will dump it in. The Leafs will pour in. Last-ditch effort right here for Toronto. It comes to the line, and Ellett stopped it there. He's onside. Back of the net. Gilmour centered it. Scrambled up the side of the goal. 14 seconds remaining. The Canucks trying to clear it. They can't get it out. 8 seconds remaining. Gilmour in the corner is Andreychuk. 5 seconds. Back of the goal. Gilmour. 2 seconds. He can't save it. The Canucks win the game. They hang on right here and stave off that last Maple Leaf attack and tie the series at a game each, as the scene now will shift to Vancouver for the next 3 games. The Canucks win it 4-3. The winning goal by Lumet on a power play at 15:46.
Well, the Canuck penalty killing nearly did them in. 5-on-5. I thought they were a vastly superior team to the Leafs. Tonight, a hard-fought game. Both teams playing a little better than they did in game 1.
Well, Vancouver outshot by one, 40-39, but a great effort tonight to tie the series. The final score again, Vancouver 4, Toronto 3.
It'll be quite a scene at the Pacific Coliseum Friday night. The Vancouver Canucks have earned their split. The Molson 3 stars tonight. Kirk McLean, both goalies great. McLean makes it into the 3 stars. The second star, Mironov and Ellett, played well on the blue line for Toronto. Dmitri had 2 goals. As I say, leads the playoffs now, one ahead of Brian Leach. And Jeff Brown was part of a great defensive core for the Vancouver Canucks. But the hero of the hour is Jyrki Lumen.
Making it work. Late night moving, oh, I'm out of control. Red lights cruising, got no sense of soul. I knew, you knew, we both knew the crime. Blacker, bluer, I'm back in the line, making it work. Takes a little longer, making it work. Takes a bit of time, making it work. Takes a little longer, making it work. Takes a bit of time.
Is it manana, or is it mania, or is it both? Vancouver, BC, where the Pacific throws in the towel, gives way to maybe the most spectacular city in all the world. 16,000 plus will be dressed like Roger Nielsen tonight, equipped with their white towels in anticipation of Game 3 of the Western Conference, a.k.a. the Canada Cup. The Leafs and the Canucks deadlocked at a game apiece. A little quiet now. They'll blow the roof off this place momentarily. That's Ray Lagace from Burnaby. Who is that guy you're with? Hey, Ray, give me this. Oh, I can't. He always was a bit of a stick man, that Sherry. You can't believe the signs in the Coliseum. Felix has fur balls. Cam Drew, where's that cherry sign? Look at the workmanship here. There's cherry and blue. Looks like a polar bear there with a bear. All around the rink. Toronto Maple Leafs will have to contend with this as the fans get set, and that's our location just in behind the Zamboni entrance. Good evening.